Okay. Hello everyone. Today's video is going to be kind of new. Something that I didn't really actually plan on doing. Um, I kind of, it just kind of popped into my head. I thought, maybe it's a good idea to where I could talk about a multitude of things. Um, and I kind of do feel like doing that. So this is going to be kind of like a podcast type setting, I guess you could say. Um, Now, the thing with my videos is I never plan anything out. I don't like planning, I just like doing. I don't know why. I'm the type of person to never really put much effort into anything. Um, I don't know, that may sound a little bit ridiculous, but it is true to an extent. I'm a pretty lazy person. Um, it's always been like that. I've always been like that. And medication for an example. Um, I have all my pills here. Um, Seroquel, for example, it really messes you up. And I'm gonna say this about all medications, all antipsychotics. They make you very lazy. They make you very tired. They make you very um, foggy, you could say, lazy. They do make you do that. They make you very tired. And for me, for the past, I don't know, year and a half, maybe a little bit less, um, the medication is kind of making me extremely exhausted. Um, Now, for the past few days with my medication, I have been pretty good. Because usually how my sleeping goes, how my sleeping schedule goes, I will honestly sleep for about 8 to 12 hours. Then I'll wake up, get something to eat, drink something, and then I will be so exhausted to where I have to go back to sleep. Like, I can't even stand. I can't even, um, like, do anything. My eyes are just dead. And now with this medication specifically, it's not like this with all antipsychotics. With other antipsychotics I was on Risperdal, for example. Let's say that medication. I was on that about 6, 7 years ago. Um, didn't really make me all that tired. When I was awake, I was really zombified, but it's not like, oh, I need to sleep right now. It wasn't really like that. It was kind of like I'm just a zombie. That's kind of what it felt like. And I've been on Zyprexa and Vega, Abilify. Those they didn't really make me tired, um, or anything like that. And I could take them during the day because it doesn't have this effect to where it knocks me out. Now with Seroquel, for example, it has this effect. Um, where it's kind of like a sleeping medication, basically. Basically, you take it depending on how long it takes to actually kick in. Last night, for example, or the night I slept last, I took it and I could not fall asleep. Took me about 2.5 hours to fall asleep. So it's weird, but sometimes it doesn't work, sometimes it works, and it just knocks you out to where you actually can't keep your eyes open anymore. And that's what it felt like. In all honesty, that's what it feels like. And I forgot where I was going with that. um, I have a huge problem with I always lose my train of thought with everything I really talk about. If I'm talking for a long period of time, this video is probably going to be a lot longer than my usual videos, depending on how it goes. Could be a little bit different. And I forgot. Man, this is a bad idea, to be honest. But I do want to talk about a few things with how I'm doing. Now, I have not been uploading much. I'm not very happy with the entire YouTube thing right now. The system is boring. I mean, I enjoy uploading videos, I do, but it is very boring. I kind of like that live interaction, um, and just not really planning anything, to be honest. Just going, like, for example, I'm sure you guys have seen, I've been going a lot live on Twitch a lot, and it's a lot more fun. Um, I get to actually interact with people, um, but it's not for everybody, obviously. Not everybody wants to watch someone stream, Um, it's not something that most people honestly don't really know about or don't really care for, and that's totally okay. Um, but that's kind of what I've been doing. The whole YouTube system, boring. It's been the same for, I don't even remember how long YouTube's been out, but I've been watching YouTube ever since it came out, mostly, and it's just been the same thing over and over again. And it's just getting worse and worse. I mean, it's a great platform. Well, for the past couple years, I'll say past year and a half, 2 years, it's been really bad. You have to really censor yourself. You can't really talk about what you want to talk about. It's not really like you're not really free to say what you like. For example, I mean, you can't. It's limited now. And all these celebrities and stuff like that, they get shows on here now. They get pretty much all the what the publicity they want from YouTube. They don't have to work for anything. I mean, they're celebrities. Obviously, they're gonna have some sort of attraction, but YouTube is just giving them pretty much a handout. Like, oh yeah, do whatever you want. I feel like they just don't really care about the YouTubers at all, especially smaller YouTubers. They honestly could care less. Honestly, it's quite disgusting, and it's just been getting worse over a year. Um, and I'm not that type of person to really complain about much, because I don't really care. I don't really care about many things. I just do my own thing, stay in my own lane, and not really focus on anything. But that's it. That's where I'm at with YouTube right now. I don't know. I don't want to say too many bad things about YouTube. They're starting to do something else, something new, that I think they're trying to implement is paid membership. Hold on, let me see what it is actually. It's paid something. Yeah, paid memberships, which is actually a really good idea. I think that's an actually brilliant idea, but they pretty much probably just copied it off of another platform, obviously. Just like with streaming, they've copied that off of Twitch or other streaming platforms, which is uh, not original. Not original. But yeah, I'm done talking about YouTube for now. Uh, I'll talk about my state of mind a little bit. State of mind is pretty decent, I could say. Today or yesterday, because it's 5:14 a.m. right now for me, and I'll probably be uploading this in a few hours. I've been, this is probably the worst I've ever been, to be honest. This is honestly the worst I've been in a long time, let's say that. I've been extremely paranoid, extremely delusional, and I've been, I don't hallucinate as much, right? I don't hallucinate as much as I used to, especially when I was like 14, 15, 16. I did hallucinate early or yesterday, or yeah, yesterday. Basically, I'll talk a little bit about the hallucinations I have now, or when I do have hallucinations, they're not really what I used to have. But earlier, I was kind of going through. I was in a weird set of mind, and when I get in that kind of mindset where my illness is kind of just really bugging me, and it's kind of like a thing in my brain that I can't get out, and it's just there, and it's just nagging and nagging and nagging, and consistently it's a really hard thing to explain. It's like a really I can't explain it. It's just a very weird feeling you get whenever you're going through I don't know what I should call it, like a psychotic type feeling, where you have no control over anything, or your thoughts, or your anything like that. It's like inside my mind, and it's like a drill, just constantly tensing up and stuff like that. I don't know how to describe it. It's just a very weird feeling. So the hallucination I was having was everything in my vision was pulsating. Like I could just see like this, and at the time I was on my computer, right? And every single thing was pulsating. It was kind of like, here, I'll try to show it on this, where it's like pulsating. Everything was just pulsating. And it was really annoying, and it didn't last long. It lasted like a couple minutes, but that's I don't. So I've been dealing with some hallucinations. I'll have voices at nighttime usually, and sometimes I'll have it during the day, but most of the time it's at night, and I don't know what the hell is going on. I'll hear something, and with like auditory hallucinations, you don't know what's real and what's not real. It's very hard to determine, depending on what it sounds like. So voices for the past year and a half have been I'll say less than that, probably about a year. Voices have been the things that have been most annoying. Visually hallucinating every couple of weeks, maybe even every week. Not that much, but auditory hallucinations, I'll have it at least once a day, or a couple times a day, or every other day. And it's not too bad. That's not something that's bothering me heavily. It's not that. What's bothering me heavily is the delusions and the paranoia. That is what's been bothering me severely. That's just what the thing, because it changes. The illness changes sometimes. When I was young, when I was 5 or 6, let's say, I was visually hallucinating a lot. I don't remember auditory hallucinations at all, pretty much. All I remember is visual hallucinations. And back then, at that young of an age, I was visually hallucinating like big objects, like a ghost-like figure, as I've said in past videos, and skeletons. I would have those types of visual hallucinations, and as I got older, around 11, let's say, it would be auditory hallucinations, demanding type auditory hallucinations, and they didn't go away for a long time. It just gradually got worse and worse until about 14. That's when everything just went kind of full-fledged, everything together. And I was a pretty weird kid, as is, very weird. I didn't act normally as a kid. I did, but some things I did very differently than others, which is fine, I guess. So the types of delusions I'll have is, stuff to do with aliens, stuff to do with death, for example. Now, I'm not the type of person to be really afraid of death, it's kind of like a feeling like I can prevent my death somehow. Like I always have a feeling that I'm going to die, and I have to find a way to prevent it in every possible way, right? Because it's like, I don't want to die by some stupid, like something, like someone killing me, for example. I don't want that to happen, because that'll just annoy me, even though I'll be dead. But I'll be annoyed while dead, even though I'll be dead, so I will no longer exist. So it'll be impossible for me to be upset when I'm dead. But we don't know anything other than life, right? We don't know anything about. We only know about life. We only know about living and surviving. That's all we know. And Am I afraid of death? No, but I am afraid of the way I'm going to die. And I'm always having this thought in my head. And I know people obviously are afraid of death. Um, but with this illness, everything is like kind of like an extreme. Um, that you, for example, what I've had most recently and is continuous is obviously I don't have a lock on my door, right? So I always have it locked, or I have something in front of it, like a chair, for example. Put the chair under the door, so if you try to turn the knob, you can't open it. So that's as good as it's going to get. I can't put anything else in front of it, and I can't get a lock for it. Obviously, I would like to, but probably won't happen. Another thing is, especially at nighttime, I'm afraid to even walk in my house at night. So I just try to stay in my room as much as possible. And I have a window right here, like right behind, because I'm on a wall right here. Behind me is a wall, and then next to the wall is a window. And I'm always afraid of grenades being thrown into my window, or a sniper, like somehow aiming in my window, trying to shoot me. Um, and that's another thing I'm very worried about, very paranoid and delusional about, to where I feel like putting cardboard over my windows, or at least something, to where no one can look in. And so, like, if someone does try to throw a grenade in my window, that it won't go through it. It'll just bounce off or something like that. Just so the window can't be penetrated and the grenade comes in the window. That's the kind of stuff that goes through my freaking head. You know, and I'll say this. I think some paranoia is good. Some paranoia is good. I'm not going to say delusions are good. Some paranoia is good, to where you are very self-aware and you are very cautious. Being cautious is good. But for people who have this type of illness, let's say schizophrenia, everything is an extreme, and your brain can't get off it. You can't help it. I can't get off the thought. I can't do anything about it. No matter what I do, no matter what I try to make myself think, if I try to alter my brain in any way possible, it's impossible. I can't do it. I've tried. I most likely was born with this illness, because I told this to my friend earlier, or a day or two ago, that I'm not sure if this is if this was a dream, if this was some experience I had, if it's real or not. But I remember a distinct, like, I remember a very distinct memory of me as a baby in my crib right next to this door. Let's say the crib was right where that big box is, right next to the door. I was a baby in my crib, and I remember my window. It was like a thunderstorm, and it was thundering, lightning really badly. And for some reason, I remember, and I feel like if it's true, because you really don't remember anything from when you were a baby. Obviously, I was a baby in my crib. I remember being in the crib, and I remember what I was seeing, what I was feeling, and everything like that. I remember my window changing shape, and I honestly thought for the longest time, no joke, even when I was a kid, I remember from the longest time that my window used to be a circle window. Those types of windows that are circles? Kind of like that. And that's honestly what I thought. And I would hallucinate as a baby. And this even happened, I even had this memory when I was growing up, when I was younger, 4, 5, 6. I always had that memory in my brain. And I remember crying, screaming while I was in the crib to get my mom to come in here. Now, I know that's a very weird thing to think about, or a very weird thing to, like, really say, or not say, but think about. Like, me as a baby, do I honestly know anything? Do I know what I should do to get my mom to come in here? crying and screaming. That's a good option, But would I honestly feel like I know that, think that? I don't know, that's just a weird thing. And just for the longest time, I honestly did think this window, this big square window I have right here, was a circle. And I would always ask my parents, or at least to my memory, I would ask my parents sometimes, did my window used to be round? Did my window used to be a circle? I thought that. And I've hallucinated ever since I was very young. And this is true stuff, like ever since 5 or 6, because I can remember that. It's not a dream, obviously. I was getting older, I could remember it. And I don't know. I don't know what happened to me or why I have this illness. I don't really care all that much, but I am curious on why I am the way I am, why do I not enjoy human interaction? Why do I enjoy being alone so much, right? Why do I don't know, I ponder about that all the time. Like, why am I this way? There's no answer. There's no definite answer to it. It's just how everything is. It's how life is. And I am going to talk about this because it's very annoying that I have to see comments on my videos. Comments don't affect me, okay? They don't affect me at all. I read them sometimes, but comments saying I have superpowers, superhuman abilities. I don't know how many times I've been told I'm a shaman. That kind of stuff. It does. I mean, it makes me laugh, It does. It makes me laugh, but it does really worry me. It worries me that so many people think this way. Like, I understand that if you think, like, for me, for example, my delusions, if I was pushing my delusions on other people, saying this, saying that, aliens are here, aliens are about to take me and kill me or something, or take me to their galaxy, their planet, stuff like that, saying that to people, that's what's going to happen to you. You need to do this to prevent this, you need to do this, stuff like that. That really annoys me. Because you don't push these ideas on other people, right? You just don't do it. It's not healthy for you, the person saying it. It's not healthy for the person receiving it. I don't care what someone believes in, right? Just as long as until it's pushed on me to where it actually bothers me. And I get comments all the time saying I need to listen to this to cure my illness. And it's music, right? Music I can't even understand. Music in another language. Like, in whose right mind? Like, okay, I'm not the most sanest person around, but in whose mind? Think about this. Honestly, think about this. I only speak English, right? The people who send me these videos saying this will cure you, and it's in another language that I can't even understand, how is it going to cure me? Like, okay, if you send me a video or music that I can actually understand the language, and you say, hey, this will cure you of your illness, that's a little bit more understandable, right? Someone to think that, but to send me something to where it's a different language that I can't understand, like, what? it just blows my mind. It leaves me speechless. Like, I'm thinking here, like what? In all honesty, look, I get crazy comments all the time, and I have a good laugh, you know, at certain ones. But it is extremely ridiculous how many comments I get like this. And I can understand it to an extent, right? I can understand these ideas to an extent. I can understand the idea of why you think this way. But to the point to where it is being pushed on someone, um, that's taken it a little too far, I must say. Um, I just, oh man. And for the comments of people saying, look, I've just chose to ignore these comments for so long. But this is like just me talking about just everything, and kind of like a podcast setting of people that think I'm faking my illness. Like, I mean, I've been getting this from the beginning. I just ignore it because it's like, okay, this person doesn't know me. This person doesn't know anything. It probably just isn't a psychiatrist, isn't anything. Just a random person commenting, "Oh, you don't have this illness. You're faking this." You know, that kind of stuff. And it doesn't phase me because, like, I mean, people do this to everybody, right? People do this to everybody on the internet, at least. People think that everyone does everything for attention, which is understandable, right? Like, obviously, a lot of people do things for attention. And me, I've been away from attention from everybody. Um, I mean, I think it's funny. You know, I think it's quite hilarious that people who don't know me personally, people who don't know what I've been through, have seen me at my worst, you know, that kind of stuff, you know, it that doesn't bother me. But it's just weird to think, because most of these people who say these sorts of things are kind of, they're not psychiatrists. They're nobody, you know, in the vast majority of human beings. Um, I could bet you about 99.9% of them don't know anything about the illness itself. And most people who think of schizophrenia think of like the most severe of severe, you know, where you see videos of schizophrenics who are just so far gone. You know, I've seen them, right? I've seen them. And it's just, I don't know how to, I don't know. I try to stay away from all of attention. You know, I don't hang out with people. I don't like pity. I don't like talking about my problems, for example. You know, I do this to actually help people. You know, I do this to make people feel less alone. I do this to make people feel um, uh, that they can relate. You know, that they can relate. I don't do this for any attention. I don't do this for any. Um, I don't know. I don't do this just for freaking. I mean, I don't even. I don't. I've never really enjoyed like making videos all that much, right? I don't put any effort into it. I don't do anything. You know, I don't go out of my way to get attention. I try to steer away from attention. Um like, I don't know, I just don't like people having ideas about me when they don't know anything about me. I mean, it's kind of like, it's kind of been like that my entire life, to be honest. Um I don't know. I don't know, I just, it's interesting. I mean, it's been happening ever since I started uploading. And hell, I mean, if I wanted attention, I'd be uploading every single day of my life, wanting pity and wanting likes and comments. and everything. And that's why back then, especially back then, like I would upload a video like once a year. Like I would rarely upload. I rarely upload now. I don't even have that many uploads. My channel's been like around for so many years. So I just thought I would like talk on that topic a little bit. I mean, it's the internet. People are gonna troll. People are gonna say hateful things. Um, and that's just how it is. That's how it's always gonna be. People are gonna be stupid. People are gonna be judgmental. That's just how stupid people are. That's just how they operate. You know, they hate themselves, so they got to put down other people. That's I've been dealing with it my entire life. I've been bullied, um, and everything my entire life. I know how they operate. You know, and that's why I've been alone. And I've always been alone ever since I was about 14, 15. I'm about to be 22, and I'll probably be alone for the rest of my life. It's something I enjoy. I enjoy being alone. I do enjoy interesting people. I enjoy talking to interesting people. I like observing. I like observing from a distance. That might sound creepy, but I don't enjoy going out of my way to talk to someone. I I like to observe and understand. I have a hard time understanding people. Um, Especially in person. Like I'm not very good at communication in person. I don't know what to do. I don't look at people. It's kind of like a different. I don't know how to explain it. It's a very different feeling. Um, I don't know how to explain it, but I'm sure you people understand who don't know how to communicate in person with people or talk to people really. I don't know. Maybe that's just because I haven't always been like that. I used to be able to talk to people. I wasn't really afraid of people when I was younger or cautious. I was never really that kind of person until about 15, 16. And I don't know, maybe I've been alone so long that I kind of lost it all or something. I don't know. Something like that. I know I wanted to talk about something else, but I forgot what I wanted to talk about. Talked about my delusions, talked about other stuff. There's one other thing I wanted to talk about in this. Well, I did get a new vape finally. Because mine was dead, so I had to go back to smoking cigarettes for about 5 days. I think I had to go 5 days without smoking a vape. I can say this for people out there who have an addiction to nicotine and smoke a lot of cigarettes. One thing that really helps is vape. Honestly, it's like 100 times better. I smoked let's say I smoked probably about 3 packs a day for about a couple years. I switched to vaping, and then for now recently when I started smoking cigarettes again because I didn't have any vape, it was awful. Cigarettes are, oh my god, they're awful. Every time I would smoke a cigarette, I would just hate it. I would really dislike it. Um, oh yeah, I'll talk about this for a little bit, and then I'll end the video. I finally got what I want to talk about. For people who are out there who have a lot of problems with dealing with your symptoms. Now it's been a kind of like a molding process, and I won't say it's a healthy process because obviously what I do, not everybody can do. But I'll say that things that help me, for example, I don't go through. Well, I'm a different person than like a lot of people are they like communicating, right? They like talking to people. They enjoy being social, right? I mean, it's just in our nature. We're a very social species. We're very social species. That's how we have survived so long. That is how we have become such a prominent um, place here. We're a very dominant species. We're obviously we've only been around for, let's say, I'll just guesstimate. There's no certain thing. We've been around for, I'd say, about 150 between 250,000 years, even maybe up to 300,000. Our species specifically. And in that short amount of time, because I mean this planet's been here for about 4.5 billion, so we've been here for a very short time. We have been evolving for a very long time. Everything's been evolving for a very long time. And what it makes our species and the other species very similar to us, apes, great apes like us, very social. Very, very social. Chimpanzees, gorillas, things like those. That's what makes us very successful. So our species should be very successful. I mean, what am I talking about? Very social. Sorry. Our species is very social, and that's just how we are. I myself, not very social. Is there a benefit to it? I don't really know. I can't really say if there's a benefit to it. For me, I can say that it is a benefit. Being by myself makes me extremely comfortable, right? I enjoy the company of animals, let's say. I enjoy the company of animals, people I find interesting, right? I enjoy things that fascinate me, or things that stimulate my mind in an interesting way. Like with my cat, for example. Me and my cat have a very strong bond. I've only had her for a year, She really trusts me. I really trust her. I do a lot better with animals than I do with humans. That's just how I am. That's kind of how I've always been. I've always been very fascinated by animals. And for me, excuse me, sorry. What makes me happy, what makes me stable, or what makes me very okayish. I'm not saying it's a healthy way. Let's say I don't know if my life, the way I'm living life, is healthy. I would say it's not healthy in so many ways. I don't go outside. I don't communicate with people outside. I sit here. I do the things I love doing. I love watching stuff. I love reading. I love learning about things every single day that I did not know yesterday. Play video games, for example. I like playing video games, not as much as I used to, but I do. I do enjoy it still somewhat. I like learning. I'm fascinated by learning about things, and I do that. I enjoy it. Those are the things that make me happy. I'm not someone who needs to be striving for so many different things to feel happy. A lot of people can do so many things and not feel happiness. It all depends on the person. What truly makes you happy? See, what I think is the most important rule to surviving, most important rule to everything here, living on this planet, us as a species, is doing what makes you happy. Now, it's a lot harder to do. What's the saying? How does it go? It's a lot harder to I don't know the saying. It's easier said than done. That's it. Easier said than done. Now for me, I've been kind of lucky, I could say, that not much stuff makes me happy. Well, what should I say? It's not that. I didn't mean to say that. I'm I- I'm very happy doing very little, right? I'm happy with pretty much anything. If I'm alone, I'm happy. If I am sitting here on a computer, I'm happy. If I'm just sitting down somewhere alone, I'm happy. If I'm with my cat, I'm happy. Those are the sorts of things that make me happy. I love learning. That's what makes me happy. Um, so whatever makes you happy, whatever kind of sparks the thing in your brain that makes you excited, makes you feel something, I would strive for it. We're living in a very messed up society to where a lot of people don't really get a chance to do things that make them happy. Because what do you got to do at 18? Got to find a job. Even earlier than that, got to find a job. Got to do things you don't enjoy doing. That's just kind of how our society is. It's kind of how people are. People have a very hard time finding happiness. But I think it's a lot easier than people make it out to be. Unless somehow I've been blessed by by something to where I'm very happy, literally just sitting in a chair. I don't know. Maybe a lot of people don't realize the beauty of life, the beauty of everything around you, the beauty. Because for me, for example, I mean, not a lot of people. I mean, a lot of people are like this. Just thinking about where we are in this solar system, in this galaxy, in this universe, thinking and imagining everything that's out there. That right there makes me happy. And it does put a spark in my eye, if you know what I mean. It makes me, I don't know how to explain it. It makes me happy. Let's just say that. It makes me happy. Just thinking about that. Not everybody will feel that way. Not everybody can just, I'm going to close my eyes here and I'm going to think about the universe. They won't feel anything, right? So try to find that and what makes you happy. Thinking about that certain thing makes you happy. Me learning about all these sorts of things, me thinking about it, talking about it, is extremely fascinating to me. So something that you find fascinating is extremely, extremely important. Extremely important. And you should strive for that. Whatever you find interesting, that should be your goal. That should be your goal. And that's been my goal for the past 8 years, thinking about certain things I absolutely love. And some people, they don't get that luxury to where they don't feel anything, right? They don't feel happiness in anything. I don't know what I can say about it. Just any little thing that clicks. Just any little thing. I don't know. I think that should be everybody's goal. I don't think people think about it enough. I don't think people think about happiness enough. I think people just go through the motions of life. And they don't really put too much thought into it. But if you actually think about it every day, about the beauty of everything, even the horribleness of everything. The horribleness of everything doesn't really make me sad. or anything. It's just nature. We're here for a very short period of time. We're going to die. That is beautiful to me. Even though death is scary. But that's how everything is in this universe. Everything dies. Sorry, I've been talking for a long time, so my voice is cracking. Everything dies. It's not bad. It's not, it can be ugly. But it's just how things are. And that's how the universe will always be. So, on that note, I'm going to end the video here. I hope you guys did enjoy this video. It is a little bit different than what I'm used to, and what you guys are used to. So yeah, I do hope you guys enjoyed this. If you would like more of this, please comment below. Please. 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 Just kidding. If you would like more of this, I'd be happy to do more things like this. Topics, whatever I could talk about. You know, anything like that. Just, yeah. So if you guys want to see more of this, just let me know. Bye, everybody. Also, you can follow all my social media links down in the description below if you want to. Yeah. Bye, everybody. Thank you all for watching. See you guys next time.